Welcome in or welcome back, everyone. It's lovely to see you again. Hopefully you've been having a beautiful June so far. So in 2 days as of filming here, it'll be my birthday, and I figured that it would be nice to do something a little bit special. I decided to finally get around to filming this itabag video, in which we are going to be doing it based off of my two favorite original characters. Now, if you haven't seen them before, this is Orion and Cygnus. Of course, I had to make custom dolls for them because I love them so much. So Orion is a sea prince fish boy, and Cygnus is a moon rabbit ballet goddess. I used to draw them a lot. I don't have as much time to at the moment, but these two have always remained very, very near and dear to my heart. A couple months ago, I started collecting various items to make an itabag for them. So that's what we're going to be doing together today to kind of celebrate. If anyone's curious, by the way, these two were made off of mermaid choo-choos as a base. So Orion is repainted and based off of the librarian, if I remember right. And then Cygnus is a mishmash of a couple characters in terms of the face. So she has the librarian face, and I think I gave Orion the adventurer one. And then I believe she has Fast and Furious hair, which me and a friend then sculpted on her hair buns. And then she is on a Liroro season 1 body. I love them so much, and they're both wearing comfort-free outfits. I do want to keep looking for a better outfit that's going to suit Cygnus better, but I haven't really found one yet. But setting the two dolls off to the side for now, let's go take a look at all of the pieces I have for our bag. So this is the bag that we're working with today. It is this light pink color to match Orion's pink, and the straps have these adorable frills on them, which I thought kind of suit sort of the mermaid tail vibe. Finally, there is also a chain that has a pink bow tied around one of the straps. So this is a Zakamart bag, and I bought this one secondhand. So there are parts of it that are a little bit worn, but I thought this bag would be such a cute base for them. Typically speaking, I prefer bags with longer straps, but just thought this detail would be so cute for them. As always, I also have a designated pouch for them. I'm going to be using this purple MLN, and I found this one when I was on vacation with my friends before. She's a white bunny, just like Cygnus. She has a little bit of pink at the tip of her ears. She has a flower made out of what I think is probably minky fabric. The white segments are embroidered on. She has these two green leaves, also with a couple embroidery details, and this little skull here. Around the face is a little bit of purple lining, and then all the embroidered details on the face include the pink cheeks and nose, the purple and blue eyes, and there are some purple little eyelashes too. I'm not a huge fan of the skull. I don't think that 100% suits her, but I thought as a whole this one definitely fit the vibe best. So this is our associated pouch that will be going inside, and I typically put in a lip balm, a hand sanitizer, and a lotion if I have it. As far as other miscellaneous decorations go, I did go a little bit crazy with them. I have an assortment of pom-poms. This pack has white, blue, and pink for Orion, and then this one has dark purple, light purple, and white for Cygnus. I also have an assortment of various little fabric hearts, and so there are wings, bows, and I have them in purple, blue, and pink. I also have these decorative badge pieces in purple and white, and then pink and white. So there are angel wings on the side, there's a couple layers of frills, some pearls, bows, some hearts, and a little bell at the bottom. These ones are pretty big. I didn't realize how big they were going to be until afterwards, but if we can find a way to fit them in there, I think they would be really cute. And I also have this pearl chain to bring a little bit more of the blue from Orion's design in. So this one has some pearls on it, and these beads which have kind of an iridescent finish, as well as the stars. I think this would look really cute on the strap. Now for the badges, I went and ordered from Woocry, which was super easy to use. I've used Vograce and I've used Woocry, and I really like the quality for both of them. What I also liked about Woocry was the fact that they have kind of a little online previewer, and they also have an online interface to put your pieces together, so you don't have to do it yourself in like Clip Studio Paint or Photoshop. So all of these merch pieces I got are commissions that I got over the last probably like 5 or 6 years now, and I'll put the artist names on screen as we go through them, and that way you guys can go check them out if you want to support them. These were all from Skeb, so these are some really wonderful, lovely Japanese artists. So this first one is a chibi of Cygnus and Orion hugging. Colors on this one are quite light on camera, but this one is so cute. I love how pastel they are. This one is Orion and Cygnus patting a little snow bunny. So this one is a bit more of a winter themed one, and I think they're so cute in this one. This one is Orion and Cygnus in some matching outfits. I love how they draw his simplified tail. It's It's so cute. This one is Cygnus in a ballerina outfit. I tend to let artists choose how they want to dress them up. I like this one because it's almost a little bit more athletic than her usual fits. And that artist also did Oriana in a very princely outfit. I love the flared sleeves on this one. I think their sketchy style is really beautiful. I believe that's all of the keychains, so now we'll go and take a look at the pin badges. On most of these pin badges, I have kind of a firework holographic effect. So there's our first one, Cygnus in Orion's lap. Here's our second one with him holding her face. I love the vivid red that they put Cygnus in on this one too. The dark blues really complement their pastel colors nicely in this one. You might recognize this is actually the artist that also did the art for my ending screen. And then in this one, there's kind of a really beautiful classic look to them. This one's another favorite. I think they look so round and cute. They just look so soft and fluffy. Something about this one really exudes the feeling of cotton candy. This one was actually one of the first commission arts I got of them. I saw this artist's art style and knew that I had to get something from them. At this time, their story was a little bit more undefined. The prince and princess vibe was definitely still there from the beginning. And then this one was the first time where I kind of asked something inspired by a ballet pose, and that kind of set the shape for the future of what I wanted from their whole vibe and atmosphere. So this one's really sentimental to me. And then I have these two matching, though they're from different artists. They want to draw Orion, and I think they did such a cute job. He looks so handsome, and the tiny Cygnus looks so happy to be in his hand. So later on I got the reverse, and I think the art styles that were done for both of these match the characters so nicely. They did such a good job. It's so cute. This one is also super sentimental to me because this one is actually done by a visual novel artist that I also really like, and they make Cygnus look so happy. Let me clean up some of our wrapping here, and then we'll start cutting canvas and everything. This one actually does have an insert that can flip outward, but because I want to put in some colored fabric, I'm gonna opt to use some canvas for today. So I tried this in my zigzagoon video and I really liked it, so we're gonna do this again. So these are just plastic canvases used for various kind of thread work. Because of the grid, it makes it pretty easy to kind of eyeball where we need to cut as well. Looks like our grid fits perfectly now. So for this fabric, I would have loved to find one that was kind of like a pastel gradient, but for now I found this light purple one with some stars and moons, and I thought that that might fit well enough for now. I think to secure it to our canvas, I'm just gonna use a little bit of fabric glue. So now I have the canvas covered in the fabric. Now let's start trying to look at how I want to arrange things. If I can put these larger badge decorations on here, I definitely want it to be these two since they're matching. So we'll start with the badges and then we'll figure out the keychains, because if nothing else, I can always find a way to put the keychains on the outside. Badges I would like to have all on the inside at least. I kind of like that this way it's diagonal, and on the upper side we have Orion, and then on the lower side we have the Cygnus badge. So I think we'll do it that way. Typically try not to, but I think we might have to overlap our badges this time since there are so many. Probably do something like that and then sort of fill in the space with our extra decorations. That'll give us a good base, but I'm wondering if maybe this side looks too pastel. So maybe we'll rearrange and have some of the darker badges at the bottom as well, and hopefully that'll make it feel a little bit more balanced. I think maybe we'll start like this and then we'll fill in gaps as needed. So we'll start by pinning our large badges. These two OCs have been with me for a really long time, and I know like the pairing of like a fish and a rabbit is a little bit strange, or I guess unique, we'll say. I'd always had the two of them in different forms, so they have technically existed as other OCs before and have always been a couple, and then it hit a point where I was kind of like, I want to draw something for myself, and I really like mermaids, so I want a pretty mermaid, and Orion happened to be victim of that. So he turned into a fish person. Though he's not any specific kind of fish, I always think of him as being more tropical because of his brighter color scheme. But technically, he doesn't have an actual kind of fish delegated to him, given that pink and blue fish are not super common. But these two, because they were kind of one of the first pairs of OCs where I was making something really just for myself, and I'd always concerned myself a lot with whether or not the people I knew who cared about the OCs I had, I often didn't feel like they did, and I don't know whether that was true or not at the time that I made them, but I was just always overly concerned with trying to make characters that other people would like. So based on that notion of like, okay, I love the idea of a moon goddess and like bunny on the moon, which is part of Asian folklore, and I want a mermaid or I want a fish, so they're gonna become a fish, and a moon goddess rabbit. But they became like super duper important to me because I was always hitting a point of kind of struggling to make characters that were actually for me. I always overly concerned myself at the time with whether or not other people liked what I was doing, and so doing something distinct like this, which was purely just for me, was something that I had never really done before until I made these two characters. After some finessing, I finally got the large rosettes on. That was my first time using something like that, so I didn't expect the little felt part to be so tricky to get on. Okay, so now we'll do our center badge. I would love to know if you guys have any OCs that are really near and dear to you also. For me, these two characters have pretty much been part of the reason why I was able to learn to draw for myself again. Two characters that just made me so happy that when I drew them, I felt happy. And I kind of had been forgetting what that actually felt like. So the fact that these two were able to do that for me again was so important. And I've kind of hit a rut lately where it's hard not to feel like my happiness alone doesn't count for success. So I get caught up in comparing my art to others, comparing my VTubing to others, and it gets really tricky to remember that it was something that I started for the sake of having fun for myself, not just for the whole thing of popularity. That never really mattered much to me. I never planned to be a VTuber until things kind of just fell into my lap that I ended up doing it. But sometimes it's hard not to feel like the stuff that I post, whether that's as a VTuber or an artist, isn't just kind of a moot effort. So I've been trying to set more realistic expectations for myself. The fact that anyone is watching me ramble about this and that at all is honestly pretty amazing, and is, I think, more than I realistically even expected for myself. I think I'm actually gonna move this over. Kind of enjoying this layered thing that we have going on at the bottom. The fact that I'm able to make videos that people are clicking on at all, I think, is honestly something that I need to celebrate. And I think part of the problem is just that we're exposed to, of course, the people who break through things, and so it becomes really easy to forget about how awesome it is that, you know, if my lower videos are doing around like 300, 400 views or whatever, that's a lot of people. That's a lot of people, and they were interested enough, if even only for a brief second, taking a look at what I was up to, which is something that I kind of lose sight of, is that, like, that's pretty darn awesome. So even though I kind of have this skewed view of what counts as a smaller goal or what counts as a bigger goal because of what we see so much of, it's like, no, I've actually managed to accomplish something worth being proud of. I've made characters that I love dearly and bring me an immense amount of joy, and because of that, I was able to learn how to draw for myself again. I stopped being so embarrassed of my hobbies and started sharing them on YouTube, and because of that was able to find and chat with other people who cared about the same things that I did. I think I'm actually just gonna attach it to the badge above it. But back to what I was saying, learning how to create things that was for my sake and not just for other people, even if it was people that I cared about, made me feel so much more passionate about the stuff that I was making. And because I was having fun with drawing for myself, I was in turn having more fun drawing for other people, because I found myself enjoying the whole thing again. I started doing doll videos about a year ago, around this same time here. Just wanted to try something. I was hitting a point where streaming wasn't really making me happy, and I had been developing like a pretty bad sense of social anxiety when it came to being live. And so as things ended up going, I pivoted to kind of pre-recorded content in an effort to kind of reclaim, I guess, some of the fun that I had lost in VTubing, since my mental health was doing quite poorly. I'm really excited about how this is turning out. As I'm able to take a step back and kind of reflect on what the last year has looked like since I started doing all this stuff, it's like, I've accomplished a good bit, actually. There's a good bit to be proud of here. Okay, now we're gonna go a bit crazy with my decorations here. I just hope that I can continue making content that I can be proud of, and content that you guys enjoy, and just kind of continue learning from all of this. I don't know if really anything I've been saying for the last little bit makes sense, but I guess my point is like, I always get really in my head about pretty much everything. But I guess the truth of the matter is that there's a lot of stuff to actually be proud of, I guess. I've managed to do a lot more than nothing, at least. And maybe as long as I keep trying, I hope you guys will continue being so kind to me and so patient with me as I kind of try and figure out what it is that I want to do to continue sharing the stuff I love with you guys, whether that be through dolls or OCs, or I'm also like very, very passionate about mental health related stuff, and that's always kind of been in the back of my mind as content that I would be interested in doing. Not so much in like a professional sense of like this is professional help, but just kind of in a like, hey, I'm looking at things and maybe we can kind of figure out how do we engage with this lesson together. As I've been looking at some various self-help and those sorts of things to try and internalize and develop a healthier understanding for myself as well. It would make me really happy to know like what you guys have enjoyed so far, though. Okay, we're gonna keep sticking bows and hearts on everything because I think it's cute. As I talk about my own growth though and whatnot, I hope that you guys also have the chance to reflect and kind of think about how much you've actually been able to accomplish in a good way. I don't mean that in a bad way of being critical of yourself, although of course there's always healthy criticism to be had as well, but I just kind of mean that in the sense of like acknowledging how much progress you've actually made, because I think sometimes it feels pretty gradual and it doesn't ever feel like we're going fast enough for what we want to do, or at least that's how I often feel about various things. But like the truth is like we're doing pretty damn good. There's like always just so much happening and so much going on, and it's all tricky, and sometimes it all does suck. Sometimes it all sucks a lot, but we're still here. We're still killing it. We're still crushing it, even if crushing it is just going day by day. And I guess I look forward to seeing where we're at for next year. I also hope you guys are enjoying these little itabag videos. I love making itabags. I have been trying to get a little bit more brave about taking them outside as well. I used to only bring them out for cons, but lately I'm trying to get a bit more comfortable with using them day to day if I'm going out with friends and going to like a market or something, or like taking to the mall. And I've only ever gotten like really sweet compliments about them. So I'm trying to get better, you know? People are not as mean as I always fear that they are. I also remember seeing on the Zigzagoon Eat-A-Bag video, some of you guys were talking about your day-to-day bags or like kind of your multi-fandom bags and stuff, and I thought that might be a really fun one as well. I have a smaller base that I had from when I did my original Cure Butterfly bag, and then I ended up buying a lot of her merch, so I ended up upgrading to an even larger bag, but because of that, I have like a little shoulder purse with a clear window on it that I think would be cute to just kind of put like sort of my miscellaneous, just like kind of cutesy pins and stuff, and use that more often than I currently do, which is 0. Okay, it's a little messy and chaotic, but that's also like kind of what I was going for. I wanted a lot of decorations on this one. I really hope this actually even fits in the insert. I haven't been testing it, and I've kind of just been sticking more things all over it. I'm having fun though. This one's been a lot of fun. I think I want to put more stuff in there. It's amazing to me now the fact that we have services that are more easily accessible to be able to make order quantity 1 of the stuff that we like. Of course, Vogue Race was like kind of the main one for a really long time, and I would do sort of the bulk orders for my friends and like order them off of when their primary way of contact was through Alibaba. And now we've kind of hit the point where like you can just go on their website and submit the file and have it done that way. You don't have to message the representative for it anymore. As I mentioned, I got these ones off of WooCry because I wanted to try it that way, and it was like super user intuitive, super easy. Definitely a service that I will consider again in the future, though I do also really enjoy using Vogue Race. Let's try tucking this into our bag. Wow, that is extremely cute. That is super cute. It does kind of go a little too far above the Velcro, but I don't think I care to fix it. I still have pom-poms to put in. Wow, I really like the pom-poms in there. That's so cute. A couple more splashes of pink in there. Oh my god, that is so cute. Maybe what we can do is attach these ones to the outside of it. Boop, boop. Oh my god, I love it. That is so cute. Oh my god, it's adorable. This might be my favorite bag that I've ever done because of all the sentimental value. This is so awesome. I'm so happy. Now this bag would be quite loud when I walk around, so just a lady and her noise pollution. There it is. It is so cute. I love the pom-poms. I feel like that makes it really fun. It's nice that they kind of sit towards the bottom where I couldn't really put more things as well. Out of all my bags, probably the one that is the most impractical to use. I really try not to put too many things on the outside because I get quite nervous about the risk of them falling off, but like, it's just so adorable. It's so pastel. I love the combinations of pink and blue and white and purple, and I'm just really happy seeing my characters together like this. It's just really, really sweet, and I hope you guys had fun hanging out with me while I put this together. We didn't even use like a pretty good amount of the stuff that I had here, but that's fine. And I really like how this chain kind of brings everything together too. The splash of blue is nice. I think if I was doing this again, I would get more aspects of blue for the outside of the bag and maybe some frill that I could attach to the top. But overall, I am really happy with how everything kind of layers. And even though everything's kind of squished together, that was kind of also the point, just because, you know, I kind of just wanted to put everything in here. I didn't really want to leave out any of the merch pieces. It was really nice to kind of reflect on how things have gone ever since making these characters. These two were really a defining part of my art journey. I didn't even make any of my own art as badges because I was so excited about all of the commissions I've gotten over the years of them instead, and I wanted to celebrate all of their art. But this one was a really special project to me, and I figured that it was a nice time to do it now for my birthday. I hope you guys have an absolutely wonderful, beautiful, blessed, gorgeous, spectacular, stellar, incredible, immaculate rest of your day. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you guys next time, whether that be in a stream or a video, and I'll see you then. Bye-bye!